Get ready to dive deeper in part 2 of our series. To maximize your enjoyment, consider checking out part 1 first, see link in the description. Let's continue the adventure. Scary camping videos caught on camera. 3-part series. Part 2, Echoes from the Woods. The unsettling encounter in Blackwood Forest clung to us like a bad odor. We couldn't shake the memory of the whispers, the fleeting glimpse of a dark shape, and the oppressive atmosphere that had choked the campsite. Sleep was a luxury we couldn't afford, replaced instead by restless nights plagued by nightmares and the constant feeling of being watched. Hazel, usually the voice of reason, became increasingly withdrawn, her usual quips replaced by a haunted silence. Maya, the fearless one, developed an almost nervous twitch, constantly looking over her shoulder. Even Sammy, the tech wizard, seemed unnerved, spending hours analyzing the static-filled footage from the campsite, searching for anything to explain the encounter. Our research into Blackwood Forest had yielded disturbing results. The local library's dusty journal entries spoke of a tormented spirit, a young woman named Amelia, wronged by the early settlers and forever bound to the forest. The whispers we heard, the chilling warning to leave, all pointed towards a vengeful entity seeking solace, perhaps even revenge. Armed with this newfound knowledge, a sense of responsibility gnawed at us. We couldn't just leave Amelia, the restless spirit, trapped in her cycle of anger and pain. It was Maya, her voice trembling slightly, who first verbalized the unspoken question hanging over us. "Do you think we can help her?" she asked, her eyes filled with a mixture of fear and determination. Silence descended upon the room. Hazel, ever the pragmatist, scoffed. "Help a ghost? Seriously? We barely escaped with our sanity last time." But a flicker of uncertainty flickered in her eyes, betraying a faint hope for a resolution. Sammy, however, surprised us by nodding in agreement with Maya. "There might be something we can do," he said, tapping away at his laptop. He had unearthed an old website dedicated to paranormal activity. It mentioned a ritual, a way to appease restless spirits by offering them closure. It was a long shot, a fragile hope against the terrifying unknown, but it was all we had. The ritual required several items: a white candle, incense, a small offering, and a recording of a person speaking words of solace and understanding. The next weekend, fueled by a mix of fear and determination, we returned to Blackwood Forest. The sunlight seemed to struggle to penetrate the dense canopy as we approached the campsite, the memories of our previous encounter flooding back. This time, however, the silence felt different. It wasn't oppressive anymore, but heavy with a sense of anticipation. We set up camp a safe distance from the previous location, the clearing bathed in an ethereal twilight. As dusk settled, painting the sky with streaks of pink and orange, we began the ritual. Sammy, surprisingly comfortable in the role of a makeshift shaman, lit the white candle and placed the incense burner beside it. Hazel, her voice shaky at first, then steadily gaining strength, read from a script Sammy had found online, offering Amelia words of understanding and expressing our remorse for the past wrongs inflicted upon her. The air crackled with a strange energy as Hazel read. We held our breath, our hearts hammering in our chests. Then, a faint sound, almost imperceptible at first, grew steadily louder. It was a sigh, a long, mournful sigh that seemed to echo through the woods. It was filled with a deep sadness, a weariness that sent shivers down our spines. A coldness swept through the clearing, making us huddle closer. The candle flame flickered wildly, casting dancing shadows on the forest floor. Then, within the circle of flickering light, appeared a faint, translucent figure. It was a woman, her form shimmering and indistinct, her face shrouded in sadness. Terror and a strange sense of empathy simultaneously gripped us. This wasn't a vengeful monster, but a lost soul yearning for peace. Hazel, tears welling in her eyes, continued reading from the script, her voice reaching a crescendo of apology and understanding. As the final words were uttered, a wave of energy surged through the clearing. The candle flame steadied, and the ghostly figure of Amelia seemed to solidify for a fleeting moment. A single tear rolled down her cheek, a tear made of starlight and sorrow. Then, with a faint smile, she began to fade, the sadness slowly lifting from her face. The air grew warmer, the oppressive feeling vanishing. The forest, once silent and menacing, now seemed to hum with a quiet peace. As Amelia's form dissolved completely, leaving only a faint shimmer in the darkness, a sense of closure washed over us. We packed up camp the next morning, a strange sense of accomplishment mixed with a lingering sadness. We hadn't just captured a ghost on camera, we had borne witness to the pain of the past and, hopefully, helped a restless spirit find solace. We emerged from Blackwood Forest forever changed. Back in our dorm room, we reviewed the footage from the previous night. Shocking, the video captured nothing of the ritual itself. The screen remained static throughout Hazel's reading, only flickering back to life as Amelia's form began to fade. It was a brief glimpse, a few seconds of a shimmering silhouette dissolving into the darkness, but it was undeniable proof of our encounter. The fear slowly transitioned into a nervous excitement. Maybe, just maybe, we had stumbled onto something bigger than ourselves. We weren't just a bunch of teenagers seeking thrills anymore. We were a team that had faced the unknown and emerged with a story to tell. And a story we intended to tell. Against Hazel's initial resistance, we decided to upload a heavily edited version of the video to YouTube. We titled it Blackwood Whispers, Answered. The clip showed the initial whispers at the campsite, followed by the part where we set up the ritual and the flickering candle flame. We carefully omitted the part where Amelia appeared, leaving it to viewers' imaginations. The response was overwhelming. Within a day, the video went viral, with thousands of views and comments. Paranormal enthusiasts debated the authenticity of the footage, some calling it a hoax, others convinced it was the real deal. Skeptics scoffed, while some expressed a newfound respect for the power of unresolved past grievances. Our little encounter in Blackwood Forest had become an internet sensation, igniting interest in the legend of Amelia and the restless spirits of the forest. Emails flooded in, people shared their own experiences with the whispers, or claimed to have seen spectral figures roaming the woods. A sense of unease started to creep in alongside the initial excitement. We had stirred a hornet's nest, unearthed stories that some might have preferred to keep buried. And amidst the flurry of online responses, a single comment stood out, its message cryptic and unsettling. "You may have appeased Amelia," it read, "but the forest holds more secrets than just one restless soul." The words sent a shiver down my spine. We had achieved a sense of closure, yet this chilling comment whispered the possibility of further encounters, of other entities lurking within the dark heart of Blackwood Forest. The whispers might have been silenced for Amelia, but had we unwittingly awakened something far more sinister? The thrill of our previous experience suddenly felt short-lived, replaced by a growing sense of dread. Maybe, just maybe, our adventures in Blackwood Forest had only just begun.